Much better.
Je ne sais pas si tantôt vous avez entendu, mais il reste 2 heures. 2h30 avec l'ajout de 30.
2 hours and a half left.
2 heures et demie. There's 2 hours and a half. Ça fait déjà 1 heure.
I can say one thing about it. We have a lot of stuff. It's okay. We are putting attention.
Voici notre ordre du jour qu'on a proposé. Premièrement, on parle des congés sociaux et fériés. Ensuite, on parle de compensation for employees working with children. Ensuite,
donc ce serait congés fériés
et sociaux. Ensuite, compensation for workers working with kids.
Ok, c'est d'accord.
Troisièmement, on aurait parlé de votre initiative visibilité avec la soirée de reconnaissance que vous avez présenté votre ordre du jour premier. Ensuite, on aurait parlé des coûts de transportation. Ensuite, on aurait parlé des vêtements. Ensuite, on aurait parlé de retention of employees. Ensuite, la durée du agreement. It's the holidays and the social holidays. Et ensuite, on aurait parlé aussi de la rémunération pour les employés en formation.
No, we did that.
Non, mais c'est sur employees.
Actually, duration will be the last because collectively.
Let's do it. We have 2 hours.
Duration. For the duration of this, just get no, it's okay.
Everything is on that section. Everything we're talking about is everything. So we're going to have to go through every single point, and then we'll reach an agreement. Is that okay? Est-ce que vous êtes d'accord?
En fait, vous avez dit vêtements, formation. Et par la suite, vous avez commencé à discuter entre vous. Donc, on était juste en train de savoir s'il y avait un autre point que vous vouliez ajouter ou pas avant de parler avec de la convention collective.
Do we want to talk about something else before talking about the duration of the collective agreement?
Duration of the collective agreement, we believe, should be the last after we set all the terms and conditions. Then we can see how feasible it is as a plan.
Is that something that interests you?
We already agreed on that, don't worry. D'être enfant, ce serait formation. C'est ça. Ici, c'est pas. I believe we are ready to start then.
Okay, great.
It is a pleasure to start with the holidays. I'll let you with my colleague Miguel.
Well, as you look so eager to start, I would like to ask you, because you were trying to tell me that the social leaves, can you call it in English? Congé social?
Yes, social leaves, it's all of that.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we're talking about moving leaves. Moving leave is defined as when any of your employees is actually moving to a different place or to your place. What we propose is that we are proposing of moving leave whenever your employees actually come to Gatineau. There's a lot of people who actually comes to Gatineau for working during the casual terms, let's say summer, daycare academy, or things like that. And we believe that they should be having a certain kind of compensation. Now, what will that do for this year's city? It will actually attract more people from different parts of the country. We can have an example of Whistler, Canada, or in British Columbia, or in Vancouver. The reason it attracts a lot of employees are because they actually have a flexible moving leave, which means that they actually give them a paid or also some unpaid leaves. So today we are proposing is we have 4 paid days off and 5 days of unpaid. Considering that they are part-time workers and they have a working schedule of working for continuous 4 days. Let's say they have a scheduled 4 days and they are moving to this province or even their city, and they will be having a 3 days pay and two paid days off. Okay.
Could you repeat the last part?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, there was just a little bit of misunderstanding.
That's all right.
So 3 paid days and 2 unpaid days.
That is for all the employees?
Yes. Whoever has a working schedule for consecutive 4 days in the week. Because we are talking about casual employees who are usually part-time.
Yeah. 3 paid days and 4 unpaid?
2 unpaid.
All right, that's noted. I wanted to ask you something about I'll try to make it in English, all right? But
We appreciate that.
yeah, no worries. About the retention, you talked about the retention of people coming to Gatineau. Is that correct?
This will also serve your retention policy, since the very fact that you can actually attract more people, right?
The only thing I was wondering is, I think we can only offer the holidays to employees that are already working with the city. So I feel it's hard to try to attract people, telling them they will have a holiday to move to our city, because usually we find the city employees, people are already living in Gatineau.
Are we sure about the fact? Because a lot of people live in Ottawa, a lot of people actually comes here for, we are talking about casual employees, right? Who works for the summer term. And they can come from very different parts of Canada, actually. Especially the region of Ontario and Quebec.
I mean, if we look closer, you're right. Maybe not looking at like British Columbia and other.
We're just
other
taking
provinces.
inspirations from other provinces. I think we can always learn a thing or two from other provinces who are actually doing better in some sorts of things, and we can all work collaboratively, no?
Mm-hmm. The only thing is, I feel like that's a lot of days to move. Usually when I move, it doesn't take, let's say, the whole week. You get a truck, the truck costs a lot of money, so usually you try to make it in one day. And also, I was wondering why they couldn't move in the weekend. Maybe it would be easier for them if they had kids.
Yeah, that's definitely a very valid concern, and for an average human being like you and I, that would definitely be the case where it only takes one day, simply rent a truck, go in, you're done. But the reason why we considered this multiple days was because we were trying to consider the fact that unexpected things happen. Consider an example of where employees is in a common law relationship where unfortunately the relationship ended in an unwell and quite chaotic way. In that situation, we would like to be able to accommodate and make sure that the employee feels that they're recognized and the well-being of the employees are well respected, which is why we decided to offer multiple days of move leave holidays.
So if I understand, you were talking about unexpected events
Also,
that could happen.
this is just one of the scenarios. Let's say you said that it will take you an average of 1 day probably. Yes, you take a U-Haul from anywhere very near, something 200 kilometers from Gatineau, and you can come perfectly fine. What we are thinking of is a bigger picture. We want to promote Gatineau to a global level, where people from British Columbia can actually come and say, hey, we love the city, we have this new initiative, and we would actually, it matches with our values and aligns, and probably has a great future, so we would love to live here, or I would like to actually work here for 4 months and see how the city is, if I feel comfortable or not. We can also attract people from France, we can also attract people from anything. Let's not forget, moving is just not physical, it's also mental. Yes, we can rent a U-Haul to tell 5 of our friends or 5 of the people we know to just help us moving the stuff. It's also about mental thing. You're moving to a new place. You should know the neighborhood at least. Meet some kinds of people and settle down before starting on your work experience. Would it not be better?
In the cases you're describing, I think that would be better. Although I'm not sure for the further examples like France, because I would think I'll take the example you said about people living in Ottawa and wanted to move to Gatineau. Let's say they work for the summer in Gatineau. That's an interesting point about giving them time to come. I'm not sure about how giving them the days off would convince them even more to come to the city. Because, I'll just finish. Okay, sorry. Because I feel if they're already working part-time, they already know a bit about the city, and I feel like that's a lot of days. If you want, let's say, to give them more days to adapt, I think that's a lot of days to adapt to a place that they're already working in. And about the attraction, I mean, if they're already working a bit of the time in the city, I would guess they would already know the city, so there are other factors that would encourager to move to the city. So I would feel if we put the money there, there wouldn't be such a great impact for also the employees that we have to making them move to get.
Remember that in your mandate it is to represent the 800 employees that you currently have, not necessarily to represent the future ones, although we appreciate the future options that you're talking about. Our main concern is for the current 807 current members.
Absolutely, same thing for us. Our concerns are for our current employees, of course. But we're just thinking if we offer this to employees, this will also attract many new employees because we know there's a labor shortage right now. We're thinking about the retention problems the recruitment problems we're having right now. We think it'd be a great way of also doing that while having this initiative for employees.
I will take that in note. Thank you for the aspects that you brought. Let's about the birth leave.
Mais juste pour être sûr, on parle de problèmes de recrutement pour les animateurs de camp de jour et les surveillants de parc. Souvent, ça va être des jobs qui sont saisonnières, des travails qui sont saisonniers pour un été. Donc, les gens vont déménager de France pour venir ici un été ou une saison estivale qui est quelques mois, puis après, de repartir.
So she's saying basically this is for seasonal positions for the summer. She's saying, will people really come from France here for the summer? And should we really pay that moving days off for people moving from France to work here only for the summer?
You can ask for water, I think.
Oh, can I get some water?
Est-ce que tu peux me ramener un petit verre d'eau, s'il te plaît? Fait 2 verres d'eau, finalement, s'il te plaît. On fait un système en
Donc, ce que vous dites, oui, en effet, c'est pour les employés qu'on a en ce moment. Donc, comme on avait dit, c'est pour les employés qui sont en ce moment employés pour la ville de Gatineau. Comme tu dis, c'est pour un poste saisonnier pour l'été. En effet, nous, ce qu'on pense, c'est que pour les employés qui vivent pas nécessairement ici, qui vont à l'école ailleurs, dans le Canada ou ailleurs dans le monde, ce serait bien de leur offrir cette possibilité pour louer un appartement, quand ils viennent travailler ici, justement. Ils sont déjà des employés pour la ville de Gatineau. On trouve que ce serait avantageux pour eux. Et en plus, ça inviterait à inviter de nouveaux employés pour régler le problème de attracting employees. Furthermore, nous savons que la mission principale, c'est de improve the quality of life of your employees. And we believe this would do so. That's why we propose it.
En tant que tel, je comprends totalement votre point de vue et je le salue même parce que c'est vraiment tourner vers l'avant avec une vision globale. Mais je tiens à préciser que actuellement, c'est pas juste c'est pas un problème de recrutement nécessairement qui nous préoccupe en ce moment pour la ville de Gatineau, c'est vraiment un problème de rétention. Actuellement, nous avons une durée de service de 4,5 ans pour les employés occasionnels. Et notre objectif, c'est de l'augmenter. Alors, en quoi pensez-vous vraiment que ça ferait en sorte qu'un employé resterait vraiment 4,5 ans si on lui paye le déménagement et que même resterait jusqu'à 5 ans et plus, qui est notre objectif?
So what she's saying is, how do you expect the retention is 4.5 years, correct? How do you expect that this incentive would keep up with this retention percentage, or if we want to increase it, how would that help? What she's saying is, she sees our point, however, retention, like they don't.
The government provides such kind of paid social leave. Any city has this kind of paid social leave. Definitely there will be more employees that will have this decision and actually move to the internet.
What she's saying is that the retention is 4.5 years. She doesn't see the benefit of having this for retention for employees that just for 4 years.
Retention is basically very dependent on motivation first of all. we're talking about 4.5 years of retention rate, which seems like the city kind of wants to grow to a better number. Absolutely, we understand your concern. And with this one, when actually the city promotes this kind of seamless transition of employees to their city, what can happen? Let us walk you through that. First of all, their employees will be very happy that such city like Gatineau would be providing this seamless transition. So the motivation is increasing. Second of all, when new employees actually come, already you have a labor shortage, the population will seem to grow. This will create new economic opportunities, new growth opportunities, which will create more people in the city. Wouldn't you think the happiness index of the city would actually increase and people will be actually more satisfied with the city? And why would they leave then?
I'm glad you brought some of those points. I took them, actually noted them. I'm glad that you also take the interests of the city into account. For now, just so we have time to discuss about all the points, I noted les arguments qui étaient en train de dire. But could you tell me more about the birthday?
Before we do go on to the bird leave, we would like to hear about your opinions on what you think about the proposition we made regarding the move leave, your thoughts on it. I just wanted to learn to hear about what you
For now, our initial position is that we don't see as the best city's interest to invest in the social leaves and the holidays, because we're thinking more about the points that we said were our priorities, retention and visibility. So right now we're hearing your arguments, and I think that's why I noted things that could maybe, let's say, help for the retention and other things.
Yeah. So are you saying that this is now the city's interest to grow its population and move towards a sustainable future with a growing population and more employees from all around the world and attract top talents?
I'm not saying that because, as you know, I'm the strategy for sustainable development.
Yes.
So that's the only thing I want for the city. I'm just thinking that after seeing how you think every point can make the best for the city and for the employees, I think after that we can better just calculate I'm going to switch to French.
No worries.
This for two seconds. Je pense qu'après on peut vraiment voir dans quel endroit qu'investir l'argent va avoir des meilleures retombées pour chacun, pour la ville et pour les employés.
Excuse-moi, est-ce que tu peux répéter? Je m'excuse.
Oui, c'est correct. Je disais juste, I can try in English if you want.
Love them.
Alright, I'll try it, let's go. I'm just saying that after hearing what you think the social leaves can bring to the city, I take note of that, and I think after seeing all of your arguments and all the things, all the potential you see in every proposition, after we can best calculate and estimate in which points it's better to invest the money, so there's the best impact on the people and the employees. So I take that into account, and that's the only reason I want to talk about Berkeley, because maybe you have another point that we hadn't thought about. But for now, we thought more about the points about retention, visibility. So maybe after we can also tell you why we think that would be better for the city and for the employees, and that way we can exchange. And then after, because we also have a restricted budget, maybe at the end, after seeing the part of each person, each part, we can then better estimate which investment is better. That's the only reason why
Absolutely.
I asked for you for the birth leave.
Perfect, no worries. So first of all, we can both then agree on that we are actually, all of our agendas, both of our sides, is actually working towards your sustainability. Although it's benefiting our employees, for sure, this is a byproduct, but it's actually benefiting your sustainability. Second thing is that, so when you have taken this into account, since you are the person in charge of sustainability, does it actually help you in your sustainability or not. It can be more effective or less effective. We will talk about it later since you said that you want to allocate your fixed budget and everything like that. But can we both agree on that this actually helps your sustainability projects?
The birth leave?
No, the movie we talked about.
Oh,
It is a solution that we are highly considering.
Okay.
It's just that the birth leave is actually something that is important for the members of du syndicat, puisque l'âge moyen est de 27 ans, et nous connaissons profondément ces qualités, et c'est pour ça que nous tenons vraiment à discuter de ce point-là, si ça vous convient évidemment.
I can answer you quickly. Like that would help the sustainability. That would help the sustainability. I'm just saying there's maybe another point after that we talk about that can help the sustainability better. So I'm not saying it's not going to help the sustainability of the city.
That's what I'm asking. Like, so we both agree on this actually helps it, but we can, like, we of course move forwards and see other viable solutions.
I think
as
we
well.
agree
We're
that
just
that helps
exploring, right?
sustainability because we heard your
That's the
arguments and
idea.
actually took notes of things that I thought interesting. I'm just saying that maybe we discover other things that we hadn't thought about and then we're like, oh, that's better for the sustainability.
Absolutely.
But yes, we can agree on that.
So yeah,
I hope
okay,
that-
we're finding commonalities.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay, cool. You guys want to take a break? Okay, cool, sure.
On aimerait prendre un moment de caucus. Yeah.
Rappelle-moi ton nom, s'il te plaît.
How many minutes do you guys want? I think you have to say 5 minutes.
Rappelle-moi ton nom, s'il te plaît. Francine. Sandrine. Ok, Sandrine. Ok, parfait.
Did you mention how long it will take?
On va juste prendre 5 minutes.
Non, pas de souci. Ben, en fait, merci Sandrine.
Ok, je commence au moins, on commence à avancer un peu. Non, c'est ça, il faut vraiment continuer. C'est juste comme, ok, qu'est-ce qu'il a dit par rapport à la sustainability? Moi j'ai une idée. C'est vrai, qu'est-ce qu'il a dit? S'il y a des gens qui viennent à Gatineau, qui travaillent déjà à temps partiel,
Il reste genre 2 heures riches à la présentation.
Avec le 30
Avec le
minutes.
30 minutes extra. Ouais.
Ah, ok, ok. Je suis vraiment, mon Dieu, là.
par exemple, je trouve ça intéressant qu'il a dit, par exemple, quand les gens ils viennent à Gatineau, là on pourrait les payer. Je pense pas que c'est aussi efficace pour la rétention et pour que l'employé se sente bien s'il part.
Non, mais c'est ça, c'est vraiment excellent pour l'attraction.
Juste finir mon idée parce que j'arrête. C'est gratuit. Donc c'est vraiment pour l'attention si l'employé vient à la ville. Et je pense que si on peut peut-être baisser un peu les jours parce que là, évidemment, ils mettent leur maximum, leur minimum, ils sont honnêtes avec ça. Si on peut baisser les jours et on peut mettre la condition qu'on l'offre pour les gens qui viennent à Gatineau, je trouve qu'il a quand même un bon point. Quand quelqu'un déménage, c'est un événement important. Si on l'offre un petit peu de temps, un petit peu de support, je pense que cet employé, ça va vraiment aussi bénéficier de la ville. Ça, je suis d'accord avec lui. Mais si on est capable de baisser un peu les journées, puis aussi dire que c'est seulement pour les employés qui viennent à Gatineau, je pense qu'on peut baisser le 5% peut-être à 2%, c'est en budget, genre. Fait que, ils ont, ouais, c'est ça, ils ont leur point parce que c'est vraiment important pour eux. Puis on peut être une façon de gagner une minute aussi dans notre truc. On a les congés sociaux, genre. Un 5% fait que.
Ouais, mais comme justement on se l'est dit au final. Et puis cette idée est vraiment bonne. C'est juste que comme on ne peut pas se permettre d'investir notre 20%, ni même comme vraiment moins de la moitié. Fait que le 2,5%, ça. Exactement.